Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Kim and welcome back to Uncommonkim. So, this is a bit late because I've only just realised I haven't recorded this. But this is my quarterly wrap-up for April, May and June. It is currently mid-July and I've only just conquered that I actually haven't recorded this video, so here I am. So I'm going to month by month go through each month and what I read that month, the star rating. I may go over the synopsis, but it's probably just going to be how I felt about each book because there is a lot of books to go through, especially for April and May. June there's only 4 books because I had a fail, but the other 2 months are quite chunky, so I'm just going to try and get through these as quickly as possible. Let's go. So the first book, oh, just a clarification as well, April was Realmathon, and I had an ambitious TBR for Realmathon, and you know what, I completed it top notch. So all these books I'm about to talk through are all for Realmathon. If you're interested to see more in depth of my thoughts for these books, I have got some Realmathon vlogs that I did. They're like my first ever vlog, so it might be a bit shit, but I did a whole like weekly reading vlog for each week. So if you're interested in reading, seeing my thoughts, definitely go and check those out. But I am going to quickly briefly go over these because I have read 10 books for April. So let's begin. Book number 1, Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. I bloody loved this book. It was phenomenal. I gave it 5 stars. The characters, the plot, everything was just really good. I really enjoyed it. I am also going to be continuing on with this series this month actually, because Jade from Jade Reads on our Patreon is currently doing a buddy read. So each month we are reading each book of this. So for this month, for example, we have The Name of All Things, which is quite exciting. So yeah, this was a 5 stars, phenomenal, really recommend it actually. It was very, very good. The next book I read in April was Ashes of the Sun by Django Wexler. If you don't know about this amazing story, it is about a brother and a sister who are on either side of the empire. So you have the sister who works for the empire, and the brother who basically hates the empire and is trying to destroy them. And it's basically the story about both of them throughout this entire experience, and it is so good. I just have the 3rd book and the 3rd and final book to read in this series now, and I just loved it. I loved it so much. I gave this 5 stars and it is definitely a new favourite series for me. The next book I read was The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This was my first ever R.F. Kuang and I really enjoyed it. I ended up only giving it 4 stars, however, just because I did find it a bit slow in places, but also the it was kind of the jump in time while we went from her being at school to her being at war. That was just a bit like, whoa, that was quick. And I was expecting it to be kind of mainly in a school setting, but I still quite enjoyed it. I did quite enjoy the characters, so can't complain. 4 stars. Really excited to continue the rest of the series. Next we have The Promise of Blood by Brian McClellan. I think that's how I pronounce his name. This was the Backlist Book Club. Was it Backlist Book Club? Yes, Backlist Book Club pick for April. However, the Backlist Book Club basically decided we weren't going to continue with this because no one was enjoying it. I did finish it. I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. It was just a bit all over the place for me. And I probably would have continued with the book club, but since they all kind of decided against it, I also decided I wasn't going to carry on. But I did read it still, but yeah, it was a 3 star. Not even going to bother telling you the synopsis because you don't want to know. And then I read Guild by Raven Kennedy, and this was actually for my House of Wind book club with my two friends, Danny and Amy. I actually only gave this 3 stars. I did not enjoy it that much, to be perfectly honest. I also, triggers for like rape in this ate my cup of tea. I was enjoying it up to the point, and then when that happened I was like, not a bit of me. So for me, sadly, that made it a 3 star, and I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought it was going to, especially since Amy, for example, really enjoyed it. It was just not a bit of me, unfortunately. I will be continuing with the series, but how far, I don't know. There we go. Ooh, that's falling. The next book was also for the House of Wind book club, and this was Danny's pick. This is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maherney, I think you say it, I don't know. I actually really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars in the end. It was really good, the plot was really good, it was just a bit slow, and I thought the ending could have gone a bit further with it, but overall still a good book. Still going to continue with the series as well, but yeah, it wasn't that bad. The next book I read was Every Heart is a Doorway by Shauna Maguire. I gave this 4 stars. This was a reread for me, and I gave it 4 stars the first time, and I gave it 4 stars the second time. I do really enjoy this series. I do find the books get better as it goes on, but this was just for Peace Talks for Amathon. But yeah, really enjoyed this. If you don't know what this is about, it is basically about a group of children that live in a house where this lady looks after her, because they all have secret doorways that they have been to, and it's basically getting them used to being back in civilization and getting them used to the fact that they probably won't find their door again. However, some of them do. The next book I read was the first volume of Full Metal Alchemist. This was a 5 star. I love Full Metal Alchemist. I watched the anime a couple years ago, and I just love being back with these characters. It is phenomenal. Honestly, if there's anything you take from this video, please just go and read this, because it's just so good. I love it. I love the characters. I don't want to explain anything, because I think you're better off going into this not knowing anything, personally. Definitely recommend this one. The next book was for the Catch Up book club, which is hosted by Becca from Becca and the Books, and that is Before They Are Hanged by Joe Abercrombie. I actually quite enjoyed this. I did give it 4 stars. This is the second book in the series, where we follow quite a few different characters as they go to fight for an empire, and there's a lot going on in this series, but you kind of need to read it to understand it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I sadly have missed out on the final book though. I do need to read it soon to be able to be caught up, but who knows when that will actually be. And the final book I read for April was The Blood of the Chosen by Django Wexler, which is the second book in the Ashes of the Sun series, which I also gave 5 stars. I've already explained what this book is about, so I don't need to explain it again, but it was another 5 stars for me. Right, on to May. Okay, on to May. So some of these books have videos linked to them, so I will say this now, that I will explain if this is a link to a video, and if you wanted more information on me reading that book, to go check out the video. So for May, I read 9 books. These 2 months have been pretty good. It goes downhill from here though. So the first book I read in May was Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell. I bloody loved this book. I read it in 24 hours. This was also for the vlog where I read British booktubers' favourite books, and this was Jade's pick. So this is the first book in the Grey Coat series. I will read briefly the synopsis for you. The king is dead, the Greycoats have been disbanded, and Falco, Falco, Valmond, and fellow magistrates Kest and Brasti have been reduced to working as bodyguards for a nobleman who refuses to pay them. Things can be worse. Their employer could be lying dead on the floor while the three of them are forced to watch as the killer plants evidence framing them for the murder. Oh wait, that's exactly what happens. A royal conspiracy is about to unfold in the most corrupt city in the world. It could mean the ruin of everything Falco, Kest and Brasti have fought for. If the trio want to unwind the conspiracy, have the innocence and reunite the greycoats, they'll have to do it with nothing but the tattered coats on their backs and the swords in their hands, because these days every noble is a tyrant, every knight is a thug, and the only thing you can really trust is a traitor's blade. I loved this book. It was a 5-star. A very easy 5-star. The next book I read was for the exact same vlog, but this was Steph's pick from Steph Loves, which is the first book in the Zodiac Academy series, which I gave 4 stars in the end because I liked it, but I felt like the bullying aspect of it just went a bit far. But I still really enjoyed this. I will briefly read over the synopsis for you for this one. I'm a Gemini, impulsive, curious, headstrong, a twin, heir to a throne I know nothing about, and it turns out I'm Fae. But of course there's a catch. All I have to do is claim my birthright to prove that I'm the most powerful supernatural in the whole of Solaria, and sure, technically that's true, as I'm daughter of the Savage King. But the bit they didn't put in the brochure was that every single Fae in this kingdom would claim my throne if they could. My biggest problem is the drool-worthy dragon shifter who has his eyes on my throne. He and his 3 psycho friends are determined to make my time here hell. All I've got to do is survive, but fate might have other ideas. Damn it, why couldn't I have got a letter to Hogwarts? But yeah, it was good and I did enjoy it, but I do feel like the bullying aspect was a bit far, hence why it got 4 stars for me. The next book I read was for the exact same vlog, but it was from Kristen from Reading Nymph who recommended me this, which is God Killer by Hannah Kania. This I also gave 4 stars because I did enjoy it, but it was a bit slow in places. But overall, it was pretty good. I was pretty happy with it. I do believe there might be a sequel. I don't know if I would pick it up though, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. The next book I read was actually when I was on holiday, which is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osmond, and this was a 5-star. If you don't know what this series is about, it is about a retirement home in the UK where 4 of their residents basically come together to solve unsolved murders or murders that are currently happening. And it is funny, it is hilarious, it's just fun, it's cozy, it's a brilliant series, and I'm really excited to be continuing with this very soon as well. But yeah, this was 100% a 5-star and a new favourite. The next one, which I also did read on holiday, was Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Satano. And again, this was another 5-star, which I thought was hilarious. And it was a really fun and cozy read. And I just can't fault it. It was so good. I think I read it in like 24 hours. It was just brilliant. I can't fault it. The next book I read was again for the British Booktuber's Choice vlog, which this was chosen by Becca from Becca and the Books, which was Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton. This I did give 4 stars. It was really good. I did enjoy it. I will actually be continuing the series. The series has actually just been picked up by a publisher, so congrats to KJ Sutton. So hopefully when they all come out I will then continue. But the synopsis for this one: we are meant to be seductive. We are designed to lure humans in. Fortuna is the last of her kind. Her brother disappeared 2 years ago, leaving her with no families or species to speak of. She hides among humans, spending her days working at a bar and her nights searching for him. The bleak pattern goes on until she catches the eye of a powerful fairy. He makes no attempt to hide that he desires Fortuna, and in exchange for her, he offers her something irresistible. For Fortuna reluctantly leaves her safe existence behind to step back into the world of creatures and powers. It soon becomes clear that she may not have bargained with her heart, but with her very life. But yeah, it was a pretty good story. But yeah, I give it 4 stars. The next book is back to Richard Osman's series, The Man Who Died Twice. I gave this 5 stars. This series is such an easy 5 stars. I loved it. I can't fault it. It's just brilliant. That's all I'm going to say. And the next book is actually for a vlog that hasn't come out yet, so I'm not going to tell you what it is. But it is Fireborn by Rosira Monday. I gave this 4 stars. It was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. It is, if you quite liked Fourth Wing, you will like this. So I recommend it in that sense. I will briefly go over the synopsis, which is: Annie and Lee were only children when a revolution changed their world, giving everyone a chance to test into the governing class of dragon riders. Now they are both rising stars in the new regime, even though Annie's low-born family was executed by dragonfire, while Lee was born in the very aristocrats who used to rule the city. A childhood at the same orphanage forced their friendship, and 7 years of training have made them rivals for the top position in the dragon riding fleet. But everything changes when survivors from the old regime surface, bent on reclaiming their city. With war on the horizon, Lee must choose to kill the only family he has left, or to betray everything he's come to believe in, and Annie must decide whether to protect her dearest friend or step up to the champion her city needs. Loyalty and love are tested in the gripping adventure that asks what matters most, the family you were born into or the one you have chosen. This was really good. Yeah, I'm not going to go into details about the video, but I really do recommend this. And the final book for May was actually Fullmetal Alchemist Volume 2. I've already said I love Fullmetal Alchemist. I can't fault it. 5 stars. I would not give it any less. But yeah, and that is May. On to June. As I've said, there's not many books for June because June was a flop. So the first book I'll put here, because I read it on my Kindle, was The Beach Cafe by Lucy Diamond. I gave that 4 stars. It was really cute, really wholesome read. I read it for a vlog that again isn't out yet. And that was the first book I read in June. But it was really good, really cute. It's basically about a girl who inherits her auntie's cafe, which is right next to a beach, and it's basically her story of building up this cafe and just living life. But it was really, really good. The next book I read was In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. This was a 4 star for me. I also got sent the arc of this, so thank you very much to, I believe it's Tor, for sending me an advance reader's copy for that. I found this really, really cute, really, really sweet. I gave it 4 stars overall. The plot was really interesting, actually. Typical TJ Klune, nothing I've really read before, but it was just really wholesome and lovely to read. You just can't fault it. Don't get me wrong, there were parts in it that was quite slow and maybe possibly weren't needed in there, but overall I can't complain. The next book I read was How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. I actually gave this 3 stars because it was a good overall story. I enjoyed the overall aspect of it. I understood the overall aspect of it. However, the ending was so bad. I was like, I cannot give this higher than a 3. Everything else up to that point was really good, and then the ending just really ruined it for me. So sadly, this only got 3 stars. If you like your mystery thrillery type books, that is a good book. It's quite funny, but be prepared for the ending. And the final book for this entire video is actually Stranger Dreamer by Lani Taylor. I gave this book 5 stars. And this book was phenomenal. I cannot fault it in the slightest. It's definitely a new favourite for me. I will briefly go over the synopsis for you. So, the dream chooses the dreamer, not the other way around. And Laszlo Strange, war orphan and junior librarian, has always feared that his dreams choose poorly. Since he was 5 years old, he's been obsessed with the mystical lost city of Weep, but it would take someone bolder than he to cross half the world in search of it. Then the stunning opportunity presents itself. In the person of a hero called the Godslayer and a band of legendary warriors, he has to seize his chance or lose his dream forever. What happened in Weep 200 years ago to cut it off from the rest of the world? What exactly did the Godslayer that were meant the name of the gods What exactly did the Godslayer slay that went by the name of the gods? And what is the mysterious problem he seeks help in resolving? The answers await in Weep, and so do more mysteries, including the blue-skinned goddess who appears in Laszlo's dreams. How did he dream her before he knew she existed? And if all the gods are dead, why does she seem so real? Welcome to Weep. Oh, I love this book. If you haven't read this series, I really recommend it. I honestly thought I wasn't going to enjoy it, and I tell you what, it was the complete opposite. It was amazing. I can't fault Laini Taylor at all. But yeah, that's my quarterly wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you got to the end, leave me a star emoji because of the amount of ratings I've just gone through. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe. We are still on the way to 100 subs. I'm really excited. I can't believe I've only been doing this for a couple months and I'm nearly at 100 subs. It's amazing. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.